6 months later, Tejo stood in the imperial gardens of Valoria. The sky above him showed 3 moons, just like Lyra had described. They were beautiful. One was silver, one was blue, and one was golden. Their light painted the garden in colors that Earth never saw. The journey here had been long. After accepting the position, Tejo spent 3 months in training. He learned about Valorian culture, politics, and language. He studied human-alien relations. He visited 5 different worlds, observing how different species interacted. It was hard work, but it was meaningful work. And for the first time in his life, Tejo felt like he was doing something important. Now he was on Valoria for the first time. The planet was stunning. Everything seemed to glow with inner light. The buildings looked like they were grown rather than built. Gardens floated in the air. Rivers flowed upward as easily as down. But the most amazing thing was how peaceful it felt. Despite being the capital of a vast empire, the city was quiet, respectful. There were no crowds pushing and shoving. No loud advertisements. Just gentle beauty everywhere. Tejo had arrived that morning. He was tired from the journey, but he could not sleep. He had submitted his first official report to the Valorian Diplomatic Corps. It was about a human family in New Tokyo who had adopted 3 alien children whose species was endangered. Simple people doing good things. That was what his job was about now. He was walking through the gardens trying to clear his mind when he heard a familiar voice. Ambassador Kim. That sounds very strange. Tejo turned around. Lyra was standing behind him. She was not wearing her royal robes. Just simple clothing. Her skin was glowing with soft patterns of blue and silver. Her smile was warm. "Your Imperial Majesty," Tejo said, bowing. Lyra laughed. It was the same laugh he remembered. "Please do not call me that. I get enough of that from everyone else. I am still just Lyra to you." She walked toward him and stopped a few feet away. They looked at each other for a moment. 6 months felt like a long time. "I was not sure you would come," Lyra said softly. "When Solith told me you accepted the position, I was happy, but also scared. What if you hated it? What if you thought I was forcing you into this?" "You did not force me," Tejo said. "I chose this, and I do not hate it. Actually, I think I love it." Lyra's smile grew bigger. Her skin glowed brighter. "Good, I am glad. Come sit with me. I want to hear about your work." They sat on a bench made of crystal that was somehow soft to touch. Tejo told her about the families he had visited, the small acts of kindness he had witnessed, the bridges being built between humans and aliens, one person at a time. Lyra listened carefully. "This is what I hoped for," she said. "When I became Empress, many advisors told me to focus on big things. Trade agreements, military alliances, but I think the small things matter more. One person helping another person. That is where real change begins. Your father would be proud of you," Tejo said. Lyra's expression became sad. "I hope so. I miss him." In the end, he understood why I ran away. He said he was sorry for trying to force me into that marriage. He said he was wrong. She wiped her eyes. "I wish I had more time with him." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment. The 3 moons moved slowly across the sky. In the distance, Tejo could hear music. Something that sounded like wind chimes mixed with water flowing. "Are you hungry?" Lyra asked suddenly. "I have something to show you." She led him deeper into the gardens to a small building that looked like a tea house. Inside there was a table set with food. But not Valorian food, it was Korean food. Ramyun, kimbap, and red bean buns. Just like the food they used to share in the supply room. "I had my chefs learn to make it," Lyra said, looking pleased with herself. "It is probably not as good as the convenience store food, but I tried." Tejo picked up the ramyun and tasted it. It was good. Different from the instant noodles they used to eat, but good in its own way. "It is perfect," he said. They ate together, talking about everything and nothing. Lyra told him about the challenges of being Empress, about the boring meetings, about the advisors who thought she was too young, about the loneliness of power. "Sometimes I miss being in that supply room," she said. "When I was just a girl and you were just a janitor, and we had no other worries except whether the ramyun was too spicy." "It was always too spicy," Tejo said. "But you ate it anyway." "Because it was delicious." Lyra laughed. "And because I was starving." "You are not starving now," Tejo observed. Lyra looked healthy and strong, royal. "No," she agreed. "Now I am responsible for billions of people. Now I have to make decisions that affect entire worlds. Now I have to be perfect all the time. She looked at him. Do you know what the hardest part is? What? Everyone expects me to be just like my father. Strong, wise, fearless. But I am not him. I am just me. And sometimes I am scared. Sometimes I do not know what to do. Sometimes I wish I could run away again. She smiled sadly. But I cannot. Because I am Empress now. I have responsibilities. Tejo thought about his own journey. About leaving his simple job to take on something bigger. About his own fears and doubts. Being scared does not mean you are weak, he said. It means you care about getting it right. Lyra looked at him for a long moment. You always know the right thing to say. How do you do that? I just say what I think is true. That is why you are my friend, Lyra said. Everyone else tells me what they think I want to hear. You tell me the truth. They finished their meal as the 3 moons reached their peak in the sky, the garden filled with soft light that made everything look like a dream. Thank you for coming, Lyra said. Thank you for accepting this position. Thank you for still being my friend even though everything has changed. Not everything has changed, Tejo said. You are still the girl who could not mop properly. I am still the janitor who found you behind a dumpster. We are still friends. Lyra laughed through tears. You are right. Some things never change. She reached into her pocket and pulled out something small. It was a piece of paper old and folded many times. She handed it to Tejo. He unfolded it carefully. It was the note she had left him in the supply room. The one where she said goodbye. I kept it, Lyra said softly, to remind me. When I feel like I cannot do this job. When I feel like I am not good enough. I read this note and remember that I was once a scared girl who ran away. And a janitor showed me that running away is not always the answer. That sometimes the bravest thing is to accept help, to accept kindness, to accept that we do not have to face everything alone. She took the note back and folded it carefully. You changed my life, Tejo. You taught me what real honor looks like, what real nobility means. I want to build an empire based on those lessons. An empire where kindness is valued as much as strength, where helping others is seen as the highest achievement. That is a good dream, Tejo said, echoing her words from months ago. It is our dream now, Lyra said. You are part of this. Your work matters. Every small kindness you document, every bridge you help build, every person you support. It all matters. They stood up together. The night was deep now. Tejo needed to return to his quarters. He had work tomorrow, reports to write, people to visit. But before he left, Lyra said one more thing. I know I am Empress now. I know I have duties and responsibilities. But promise me something. What? Promise me that we will always be honest with each other. That we will always be friends first, Empress and Ambassador second. Promise me that you will tell me when I am wrong. That you will eat ramyun with me when I am sad. That you will remind me who I really am when I forget. Tejo smiled. I promise, but only if you promise me something too. What? Promise me that you will never stop being yourself. That you will rule with kindness as well as strength. That you will remember the girl who ate 2 spicy ramyun in a supply room and thought it was the best food in the universe. Lyra laughed. I promise, they said goodnight. Tejo walked back through the gardens toward his quarters. Above him 3 moons shined their light. Around him an alien world hummed with life. He thought about his old life. Mopping floors. Taking out trash. Working the night shift alone. It had been a good life. Simple. Honest. But this new life was good too. Different but good. He was still helping people. Still doing what his father taught him. Still trying to make the world a little better. One small act at a time, and he had a friend. A real friend. One who happened to be an empress but who was still the same girl who could not clean properly and loved ramyun. Tejo smiled. His mother had been right. Everyone deserved dreams. Even janitors. Even him. And sometimes, if you were very lucky, dreams came true in the most unexpected ways. In a supply room behind a dumpster. In a bowl of spicy noodles. In 3 months of quiet kindness that changed 2 lives forever. In the simple truth that the greatest power in the universe is not found in weapons or crowns or empires. It is found in the heart of someone who sees a stranger suffering and says without hesitation, without expectation, without fear, "Let me help you." That was the power that saved a princess. That was the power that changed an empire. That was the power that proved once again, that humanity's greatest strength is not our technology or our intelligence or our ambition. It is our capacity for kindness. And in a universe that can be cold and dark and cruel, that is the most powerful thing of all. The news broke the next morning. By the time Tejo woke up at noon, his face was on every screen in Neo Sol. Night shift janitor saves alien princess, the headlines shouted. Ordinary man hides royal for 3 months, another said. His photo was everywhere. Someone had found his work ID picture and shared it. His phone would not stop ringing. Numbers he did not know, messages from reporters, requests for interviews. His small apartment door had 20 reporters waiting outside. Tejo did not answer any of them. He sat on his bed and stared at the wall. Everything felt unreal. Finally, his phone rang with a number he recognized. His mother, Tejo. Her voice was worried. I saw the news. Are you okay? Are you in trouble? I am okay, mother, he said. His voice sounded tired even to himself. I just helped someone. I did not know she was a princess. Of course you did not know, his mother said firmly. You have a good heart like your father. But son, there are reporters outside my house too. They keep asking questions. They want me to talk about you. Tejo felt guilty. I am sorry, mother. I did not mean to bring trouble to you. You did not bring trouble. You did a good thing. He could hear the smile in her voice. Your father would be very proud. That made Tejo's throat feel tight. Thank you, mother. Come visit me soon, okay? When the reporters go away. After he hung up, Tejo tried to go back to sleep, but his phone kept ringing. Finally, he turned it off. 3 days later, the Korean government contacted him. They wanted to give him a medal for promoting interstellar friendship. The mayor of Neo Sol wanted to honor him. His building owner wanted to promote him to a day manager position with triple the salary. Everyone wanted something from him now. Wu Jin treated him differently at work. The old man kept bowing and calling him hero. The other janitors asked for autographs. Building security gave him special treatment. Tejo hated all of it. He just wanted his quiet life back. But the biggest change came from the Valorian Empire. 1 week after Lyra left, a formal holographic message was broadcast across all of human space. Tejo watched it on his tablet, hiding in the supply room during his break. Lyra appeared in the hologram. She wore formal robes now. Her skin glowed with royal patterns. She looked beautiful and distant, like someone from a different world, which she was. But when she spoke, her voice was warm, and she spoke in perfect Korean. People of Earth, she began. I am Princess Lyraveth Solanix of the Valorian Empire. 4 months ago, I came to your world as a fugitive. I was afraid. I was hurt. I was alone. The hologram showed images of Earth, of Neo Sol, of ordinary people going about their lives. I crashed in your city and expected nothing. I had learned that the universe is cold, that most beings only help if they gain something. But then a janitor named Tejo Kim found me behind a dumpster and he proved me wrong. Tejo felt his chest tighten as he watched. This man did not know who I was. He did not care about rewards. He saw someone suffering and he helped. For 3 months he shared his food with me. He protected me. He taught me your language. He showed me what true kindness looks like. Lyra's expression became serious. I have traveled to many worlds. I have met emperors and warlords and merchants. But the janitor Tejo Kim showed me something I had never seen before. He showed me that true nobility has nothing to do with birth or titles or power. True nobility lives in the hearts of those who choose kindness when it costs them everything and gains them nothing. She looked directly at the camera. It felt like she was looking at Tejo himself. Tejo Kim is a prince among his people, and I will carry the lesson he taught me for the rest of my life. The hologram showed her bowing, a princess bowing. Thank you, my friend, she said softly, for the ramyeon, for the terrible movies, for letting me be just Lyra. I will never forget you. The hologram ended. Tejo sat in silence for a long time. Then he put his face in his hands and cried, not from sadness, from something else, something he did not have words for. The next 3 weeks were chaos. The story spread across Earth and beyond. Humans were proud. They said it showed the best of humanity. Alien species watched with interest. Some were skeptical. Some were impressed. Some were confused that helping a stranger was considered special. But Tejo just wanted it all to stop. He wanted to go back to his simple life, mopping floors, taking out trash, being invisible. Then the Valorian diplomat arrived. His name was Solith. He was an elderly Valorian with skin like weathered stone and kind eyes. He came to the building during Taiho's shift, accompanied by 3 guards. Taiho met him in the lobby. Reporters tried to follow, but the guards kept them back. "Janitor Kim," Solith said, bowing slightly. "Thank you for meeting with me." "Just Taiho, please," Taiho said. They went to a conference room on the 5th floor. It was strange seeing a room that Taiho usually cleaned being used for a formal meeting. "I will be direct," Solith said once they were seated. "The princess refuses to accept her father's throne until her debt to you is properly acknowledged." Taiho blinked. "What?" "She's quite stubborn," Solith said with what might have been amusement. "Emperor Velkarson died 6 days ago. The princess should be crowned as empress immediately, but she refuses. She says that humans understand honor in a way many species have forgotten. She says her debt to you must be paid first." "There is no debt," Taiho said firmly. "I helped a friend. That is all." "That is exactly what Commander Cathera said you would say," Solith replied. "The princess predicted the same thing, which is why she is offering something different than money or titles." Solith pulled out a tablet and placed it on the table. It showed a formal document with text in both Valorian and Korean. "The princess has created a new position in the Valorian diplomatic corps. She calls it the Ambassador of Unspoken Kindness." Taiho read the document. The position was strange. It was not like normal ambassadors who negotiated treaties. This ambassador would travel between human and Valorian worlds, observing and learning, finding and supporting small acts of compassion, building genuine understanding between species. "The salary is comfortable but not excessive," Solith explained. "The work would be meaningful but not glamorous. You would split your time between Earth and Valoria. Most importantly, you would work quietly. No media, no ceremonies. Just you doing what you do best. Seeing people. Helping where help is needed." Taiho looked up from the tablet. "Why me?" "Because the princess trusts you. Because you understand something that many have forgotten. That kindness is not weakness. That helping others is not foolish. That every person has value regardless of their status." Solith leaned forward. "You do not have to accept. But the princess asked me to tell you one more thing. She said that you told her everyone deserves to have dreams. She wants to know what your dreams are." Taiho thought about it. His dream had always been simple. Take care of his mother. Do honest work. Live a quiet life. But was that really a dream? Or was it just surviving? "Can I think about it?" he asked. "Of course," Solith said. "Take your time. The princess has waited this long. She can wait longer." After Solith left, Taiho finished his shift. He mopped floors. He emptied trash. He did his job like always. But his mind was far away. That weekend, he took the train to Busan. He sat with his mother in her small kitchen and told her everything. About the offer. About his doubts. About not knowing what to do. His mother listened quietly. When he finished, she took his hand. "Taiho," she said gently, "you have taken care of me for so long. You are a good son, but you are also young. You have your whole life ahead of you. If this princess offered you this position, she sees something in you. Something special. Do not waste it because you think you need to stay here for me." "But mother, I am old but I am not helpless, honey," she said firmly. "And this position pays well, yes? So you could still send money. But more importantly, you could do something meaningful. Something your father would be proud of." Taiho looked at his mother. She was smiling at him. "Go," she said. "Meet your friend again. See the stars. Live your dreams." That night, Taiho sat on his mother's porch and looked up at the sky. Somewhere up there was Lyra, a princess who had become an empress, a royal who remembered a janitor. Maybe she was right. Maybe everyone deserved dreams. Even him. He made his decision. The girl stayed in the supply room for 3 days before she could stand without shaking. Taiho visited her during every break. He brought food, water, and clean clothes from the lost and found box. She watched him with careful eyes, still ready to run. On the 4th day, she told him her name. "Lyra," she said, pointing to herself. Her voice was soft. "Lyra," Taiho repeated. He smiled. "Pretty name." Lyra tried to smile back. It looked like she had not smiled in a long time. Communication was hard at first. Lyra knew some English and a little Korean, but not much. Taiho spoke slowly and used simple words. He also used his hands to explain things. Sometimes they had to repeat the same conversation 3 or 4 times before understanding each other. But Lyra was smart. She learned fast. Every day she spoke better Korean. Taeho asked her questions, but she would not answer most of them. Where did she come from? Why was she hurt? Who was looking for her? Every time he asked, she became quiet and scared. So he stopped asking. After 2 weeks, they developed a routine. Taeho came to work at 11 p.m. He would hide Lyra in his cleaning cart under towels and supplies, then push her to the supply room. She stayed there while he worked. During breaks, they ate together and talked. At 6 a.m., before Woo Jin arrived, Taeho would sneak her back out through the loading dock. During the day, Lyra hid in an abandoned storage building near the subway station. It was not safe, but it was better than nothing. At night, she came back to wait for Taeho. By the 3rd week, Lyra looked much better. The burns on her skin were healing. She was gaining weight. Her skin glowed brighter now with beautiful patterns of blue and silver. She started helping Taeho with his work. At first he said no, but she insisted. I want to help, she said. You help me. I help you. So they cleaned together. Lyra was not good at mopping. She left streaks everywhere. She did not understand how to use the vacuum cleaner. But she tried hard, and that made Taeho happy. They also started sharing more than just work. During their breaks, Taeho showed her old movies on his tablet. Lyra loved them, even though she did not understand all the words. She laughed at the funny parts and cried at the sad parts. One night they watched a romantic comedy. When it ended, Lyra looked sad. What is wrong? Taeho asked. The man and woman, Lyra said slowly. They choose each other. They are free to choose. Taeho waited. He knew she would explain if he was patient. My family, Lyra continued. They wanted to choose for me. They wanted me to marry someone bad. Someone cruel. I said no. So I ran away. That was all she said. But it was the most she had ever told him about herself. Taeho brought different food for her to try. Korean food from the convenience store. Ramyun noodles were her favorite. She loved how spicy they were. She also loved kimbap and sweet red bean buns. Earth food is best food, she said one night, her mouth full of noodles. The patterns on her skin glowed bright pink. Taeho learned that meant she was happy. He laughed. You only say that because you're hungry. No, Lyra said seriously. I eat food from many planets. Earth food has, I do not know the word, heart? Heart, Taeho repeated. He understood what she meant. As the weeks passed, Lyra taught Taeho about the stars. She told him about her travels before she came to Earth. She described nebulas that sang like music. She talked about asteroid fields where crystals grew as big as buildings. She spoke of her home planet with 3 moons, but she never said which planet. She never said what species she was. And Taeho did not ask. One night in January, 2 months after he found her, something changed. They were eating ramyun together when Lyra suddenly said, Why do you help me? Taeho thought about it. Because you needed help, he said simply. But you do not know me. I could be dangerous. I could be a criminal. Are you? Taeho asked. No, but you did not know that when you found me. Taeho shrugged. My father taught me something. He said that every person deserves kindness until they prove they do not. You have not done anything bad. So I help you. Lyra stared at him for a long moment. Then tears started falling down her face. The patterns on her skin turned deep blue. I am sorry, Taeho said quickly. Did I say something wrong? No, Lyra said, wiping her eyes. You said something very right. You are a good person, Taeho. Better than many people I knew before. Better than, she stopped. Just better. That night, Lyra told him more about herself. Not everything, but more. She said she came from a powerful family. She said she ran away because they wanted her to marry a man who hurt people. She said she stole a ship and flew it until it crashed on Earth. I think I am in big trouble, she said with a small laugh. But for 3 months I was happy. Because of you. By February, Lyra spoke Korean almost perfectly. She still had an accent, but she could express herself well. She told Taeho stories that made him laugh. She made jokes. She sang songs from her planet in a language that sounded like wind chimes. She also started asking about him, about his life, his family, his dreams. Taeho told her about his mother in Busan. He told her about his father who died saving people from a collapsed building. He explained that he became a janitor because the job was simple and let him help his mother. Do you have dreams? Lyra asked. Things you want to do? Tejo thought about it. I want my mother to be comfortable. I want her to not worry about money. That is my dream. That is a good dream, Lyra said. But what about dreams for you? Just for Tejo? No one had ever asked him that before. I do not know, he said honestly. I never thought about it. You should think about it, Lyra said. You deserve dreams too. One night Tejo came to work and found Lyra practicing with the mop. She was trying to clean without leaving streaks. Look, she said proudly. I am getting better. Tejo examined her work. It was better. Not perfect, but better. You are a very good student, he said. Lyra beamed. Her skin glowed bright pink again. When I go home someday, I will tell everyone that I learned to clean floors on Earth. They will be very surprised. When you go home, Tejo repeated. The words made his chest feel tight. He had not thought about her leaving. These 3 months felt like they could go on forever, but of course they could not. Nothing lasted forever. Lyra must have seen something in his face. I do not want to go, she said softly. This is the first time I felt free, the first time I felt like I could be myself. But I cannot hide forever. I know, Tejo said. They stood in silence for a moment. Then Lyra said, You are my best friend, Tejo. I never had a best friend before. Thank you. Tejo felt his throat get tight. You are my best friend too, he said. That night they worked together in comfortable silence. They did not know that it would be their last peaceful night together. The next evening, when Tejo arrived at work, everything would change. Tejo knew something was wrong before he even entered the building. Strange ships floated in the sky above Hangang Corporate Tower. They were not like normal aircraft. These ships looked like they were made of liquid light. They glowed with soft colors that shifted and changed. The lobby was full of people. Not human people. Tall aliens in armor that looked like crystal. They were 8 feet tall with skin that ranged from pale blue to deep purple. Their armor hummed with energy. They carried weapons that glowed with contained power. Tejo's heart started beating fast. He tried to walk past them toward the service elevator. Tejo, wait! His coworker Wu Jin grabbed his arm. The old man looked scared. Do not go upstairs. Those aliens are searching the building. Searching for what? Tejo asked, but he already knew the answer. A girl, Wu Jin whispered. An alien girl. They have been looking for her for months. They say she is very important. They are offering a huge reward for information about her. Tejo felt cold. What else did they say? They said anyone hiding her could be arrested. They said it is like kidnapping a foreign leader. Wu Jin squeezed his arm. If you know anything, Tejo, you should tell them. This is serious, Tejo pulled his arm free. I need to get to work, he said. He walked toward the service elevator, but his hands were shaking as he pressed the button. The elevator seemed to take forever. When the doors finally opened, he stepped inside and hit the button for the 3rd floor. The supply room. He had to get to the supply room, but when he arrived, the door was already open. The room was empty. His cot was still there, his hot plate, his spare clothes. But Lyra was gone. Then he saw the note. It was written in careful Korean on a piece of paper, placed on top of his folded jacket. Tejo, I am sorry I lied to you. I am sorry I brought trouble to your door. Thank you for everything you did for me. Please do not follow me. Please go home and forget about me. You gave me something I never had before. You gave me freedom. Thank you, my friend Lyra. Tejo read the note 3 times. Then he folded it and put it in his pocket. His mind was racing. Where would she go? She had no money. No place to hide, the roof. She would go to the roof. He ran to the emergency stairs and climbed. The building had 200 floors, but Tejo only needed to reach the 20th floor roof access. His legs burned. His lungs hurt. But he kept climbing. When he burst through the roof door, he saw her. Lyra stood at the edge of the building, looking down at the emergency stairs that ran down the outside. She was preparing to climb down. Lyra, he shouted. She spun around. Her eyes were red. Her skin was pulsing with dark blue patterns. She had been crying. Go away, Tejo, she said. Please, I do not want you to get in trouble. Too late for that, he said, walking toward her. Tell me the truth. All of it. Lyra looked at him for a long moment. Then her shoulders dropped. I am Princess Lyra Veth Solanix of the Valorian Empire. My father is the Emperor. I ran away from an arranged marriage to the overlord of the Keth Unity. He is a cruel man who has killed many people, but my father wanted the alliance. So I stole a ship and ran. Teho stared at her. A princess. She was a princess. My own guards hunted me across 3 systems, Lyra continued. Her voice was bitter. I crashed on Earth by accident. I thought I could hide here until I figured out what to do, but they found me. She laughed without humor. I should have told you the truth. But I was so tired of being a princess. For 3 months I was just Lyra. Just your friend. I was happy. You are still my friend, Teho said. A friend who lied to you. A friend who put you in danger. Lyra shook her head. Go downstairs, Teho. Tell them you did not know who I was. Tell them I threatened you. They will believe you. I will not lie, Teho said firmly. Before Lyra could respond, the roof door burst open. 20 alien guards poured onto the roof. Their weapons were raised. Their armor glowed brighter. The guard in front was female. She was taller than the others, with armor that looked like it was made of gold crystal. She had scars on her face and moved like a warrior. When she saw Lyra, she immediately dropped to one knee. All the other guards did the same. Your Highness, the female guard said in accented Korean. Her voice was full of relief and anger mixed together. We have been searching for you for 4 months. The entire empire has been looking. Your father, the emperor, is dying. You must return home immediately. Lyra stood up straighter. Teho saw her transform before his eyes. She was no longer the scared girl who ate ramyun and watched movies. She was a princess. Royal, powerful. Commander Cathara, Lyra said coldly. I told my father I would not marry the Keth overlord. I will not be sold like property. Your Highness, Cathara said, standing up. The marriage has been cancelled. The overlord was exposed for war crimes 3 weeks ago. He is in prison awaiting trial. You are free from that arrangement. But your father needs you. He's very sick. Lyra's composure cracked. Father is dying? Yes, Your Highness. We have been trying to find you to bring you home. He asks for you every day. Teho saw tears form in Lyra's eyes. She looked lost, young, scared. Then Cathara's eyes focused on him. Her expression turned dangerous. You, human, you are the janitor who works here? Teho nodded. You have been hiding the crown princess for 3 months? Cathara's hand moved toward her weapon. Do you understand what you have done? This is an interstellar incident. You could be charged with kidnapping a foreign leader. You could start a war. He did not know who I was, Lyra said sharply. Her voice carried an authority that Teho had never heard before. He found me dying and showed mercy. He asked nothing in return. He expected nothing. This man shared his food with me. He protected me. He treated me with more kindness than I have received from most of my own people. Nevertheless, another guard growled. The law requires. I am still crown princess, Lyra interrupted. Her skin was glowing bright now with patterns of silver and gold. And I say this man is under my personal protection. Anyone who harms him will answer to me. Cathara studied Lyra carefully. Then she looked at Teho. What do you have to say for yourself, human? Teho thought about everything he wanted to say. But in the end, he kept it simple. I helped someone who needed help. That is all. Cathara stared at him. Then surprisingly, she laughed. It was a harsh sound. That is all? Human. Do you know what happened in the 17 cities we searched before we came here? Citizens saw the princess and reported her for reward money. Officials turned away because they feared trouble. Even when we offered amnesty and protection, no one came forward to help her. She stepped closer to Teho. You are the first being in 4-star systems who saw a suffering stranger and simply helped. No questions, no reward. No expectations. You just helped. She shook her head. Is this common among humans? Teho thought about his father pulling people from rubble, his mother feeding hungry children during the war. Small kindnesses he saw every day in his city. Maybe not common enough, he said quietly, but it is who we try to be. Cathara looked at him for a long moment. Then she turned to Lyra. Your Highness, we must leave now. The Emperor does not have much time. Lyra looked at Teho. Her eyes were full of tears. I have to go, she said softly. I know, Teho said, I will never forget you. I will never forget what you did for me. I will not forget you either. Lyra walked toward him. Then, breaking all royal protocol, she hugged him tightly. Thank you, my friend, she whispered. For the ramyun, for the terrible movies, for letting me be just Lyra. Then she pulled away and walked toward the guards. She did not look back. Teho watched as they surrounded her and led her toward one of the glowing ships. Kethera was the last to leave. She stopped beside Teho. "Someone will contact you soon about compensation. The Empire does not forget debts. I do not want anything," Teho said. Kethera smiled. It was a sad smile. "I know. That is why you will be rewarded anyway." Then she was gone. The ships rose into the sky and disappeared. Teho stood alone on the roof for a long time. The wind was cold. His jacket was still in the supply room, wrapped around Lyra's note. He had just wanted to help someone. Now he did not know what would happen next. The clock showed 11:47 p.m. when Taiho Kim pushed his cleaning cart through the empty lobby of Hangang Corporate Tower. His footsteps echoed in the silence. Most people hated working nights, but Teho found peace in it. No crowds, no noise. Just him and the building. He was 34 years old and had been doing this job for 6 years. The pay was not great, but it was steady. Every month he sent half his salary to his mother in Busan. She lived alone after his father died, and Taiho wanted to make sure she had everything she needed. The building had 200 floors. Teho worked on the first 20. He mopped floors, emptied trash bins, and cleaned bathrooms. It was simple work. Honest work. He liked that about it. Tonight was cold. November in Neo Seoul always brought freezing winds from the north. Teho wore his thick jacket as he took the service elevator down to the loading dock. It was time to take out the trash. The loading dock was underground. It smelled like garbage and old concrete. Large dumpsters lined the walls. Teho worked quickly. He wanted to get back inside where it was warm. He was throwing the last bag into a dumpster when he heard something. A small sound. Like a whimper, Teho stopped. He listened carefully. There it was again. He walked around the dumpster and looked behind it. What he saw made him freeze. A girl lay on the cold concrete. She was curled up in a ball, shaking. At first, Teho thought she was a teenager, maybe homeless. But then he saw her skin. It was glowing. Faint blue and silver patterns moved across her arms and face like living tattoos. Her hands had 6 fingers instead of 5. Her ears were slightly pointed. She was alien. Teho had seen aliens before. Earth had contact with many species now. They lived in special districts, worked in embassies, traded with humans. But he had never seen one like this. The girl was very thin. Her clothes were torn and dirty. They might have been nice once, but now they were just rags. She had burns on her arms and legs. The burns looked bad, like someone had shot her with energy weapons. She was not moving much, just shaking from the cold. Teho knelt down beside her. "Hello?" he said softly. "Can you hear me?" The girl did not respond. Her eyes were closed. Her breathing was shallow. Teho knew he should call someone. The police. An ambulance. The Alien Affairs Office. That was the right thing to do. But he remembered the news stories. Alien refugees waited months in detention centers. They were questioned over and over. Many were sent back to wherever they came from, even if it was dangerous. The girl looked so small. So hurt, Teho made his decision quickly. He took off his jacket and wrapped it around her. Then he carefully lifted her. She was light. Too light, like she had not eaten in weeks. He carried her to the service elevator and took her up to the 3rd floor. The janitor's supply room was there. It was a large room filled with cleaning supplies, but Teho had set up a small corner for himself. A cot, a small table, a hot plate for making instant noodles. He spent his breaks there during long shifts. He laid the girl on his cot and covered her with his spare blanket. Then he found his first aid kit. It was just basic stuff: Band-Aids, antiseptic, pain medicine, nothing for energy weapon burns. He cleaned the burns as gently as he could. The girl moaned softly but did not wake up. Teho gave her water, letting small drops fall into her mouth. She swallowed automatically. When he finished, he sat on the floor beside the cot. He watched her breathe. Her skin was still glowing faintly. The patterns moved slowly like waves on water. What was he going to do? He could not keep her here forever. But he could not hand her over to authorities either. Not when she was this hurt. Not when she looked so scared even in sleep. Teho decided to wait. He would take care of her until she woke up. Then he would ask her what she wanted. For the rest of his shift, he worked quickly. He checked on the girl every 20 minutes. Each time, she was still sleeping. But her breathing got stronger. The glow of her skin got brighter. When dawn came, Teho clocked out. His replacement, an old man named Wu Jin, came in at 6 a.m. "How was your night?" Wu Jin asked. "Quiet," Taeho said. "Very quiet." He went back to the supply room one more time before leaving. The girl was still asleep. He left a bottle of water beside the cot where she could reach it. He also left some crackers from his lunchbox. Then he locked the door from the outside. He had the only key. Taeho took the subway home to his small apartment. He lived alone in a tiny place in the older part of the city. It was just one room with a bathroom, but it was enough. He should have been tired. He always slept during the day after working all night. But today he could not sleep. He kept thinking about the girl. Who was she? Why was she hurt? Why was she alone behind a dumpster in Neo Seoul? And what would happen when she woke up? Taeho finally fell asleep around noon. He dreamed of glowing patterns and six-fingered hands reaching out for help. When his alarm went off at 9 p.m., he got ready for work faster than usual. He packed extra food in his bag. Rice balls, dried seaweed, a bottle of juice. If the girl was awake, she would be hungry. He arrived at the building 30 minutes early. His heart was beating fast as he unlocked the supply room door. The cot was empty. For a moment, Taeho felt panic. Then he heard a sound from behind the shelves. The girl was crouched in the corner, pressed against the wall. Her eyes were huge and dark. They reflected light like a cat's eyes. She was holding a mop handle like a weapon. "It is okay," Taeho said in Korean. He held up his hands. "I will not hurt you." "I want to help." The girl stared at him. She said something in a language he did not understand. Her voice was musical but scared. Taeho pointed to himself. "Taeho," he said slowly. Then he pointed to the food he had brought. "Food, are you hungry?" The girl's eyes went to the bag. He could see the hunger in her face. But she did not move. Taeho slowly sat down on the floor. He pulled out a rice ball and took a bite to show it was safe. Then he placed another rice ball on the floor between them and slowly pushed it toward her. They sat like that for a long time. The girl watching him. Taeho staying very still. Finally, the girl moved. She came forward slowly, ready to run at any moment. She grabbed the rice ball and backed away quickly. She ate it in 3 bites. Then she looked at him again. This time her eyes were a little less afraid. Taeho smiled and pushed the whole bag toward her. The girl ate everything. When she finished, she looked at him and said one word in broken Korean. "Thank you." Taeho's smile got bigger. "You are welcome," he said.